I came with a tray with my pitcher of sangria.
Uh-oh.
And long
Was
story
it the
short,
French
I drip.
whole-
No.
you
throw the whole pitcher of red sangria over his white hair, his white linen suit, his white everything.
Not good.
This happened to you? Oh my
The guy was dripping sangria from his eyebrows. And fruit,
Watch
because remember that has like orange and stuff.
Yeah,
like
fruit.
the guy he looked basically like I murdered the guy, like I stabbed him like 20 times or something like that.
Hey, we're here. We're live and direct.
Live again.
My man JM in a place to be.
Episode 1. By the way, I'm JM.
JM.
Nowadays, it's gonna be easier than saying Julio Mario,
Mario,
and
yeah.
all those
This
things
is
for you
a lot
guys.
going
That way,
on.
you guys know
Zambrano.
where to find us. Exactly.
So
right there.
we got
What is
my
it? Where do
boy
they find us?
JM, your boy Ico Love coming to you live, and we have a special guest, which will
Definitely
introduce in a
special
minute.
guest.
Man, we made it, right?
Yeah, man.
Episode 1, good feedback. A lot of people showed us love.
I told you we shouldn't have had that beer before the show. We were supposed to have it after.
Cusqueña, is always there to save us.
Yes.
But
Yes, it is.
hey, I'm excited. We made it to episode 1. We, thank you everyone for all your feedback. It definitely motivates us to continue doing what we're doing. Continue
Doesn't that sound
educating.
weird? We made it to episode 1. Like,
I know.
I mean, if you guys are listening to us for the first time,
Yeah.
this is
Episode
the
1.
second time we're together,
Yes.
but it is episode 1. Last time was
Yeah.
episode 0. We didn't think it was gonna be anything. There was nothing good was gonna come of it.
And
we're here.
thank you to everyone, because at the end of the day, me and JM, we're realists, and I think if people would have told us, all right, guys, like no, just continue to promote the clubs and continue. You guys sound horrible. You guys don't even have radio voices.
Right.
Right? We would have been like, okay, let's just focus on something else. But we're enjoying ourselves. We're having fun. We're here. Nightlife Entrepreneur Podcast. We're here to stay. Get ready for us. We have a lot of exciting interviews and a lot of exciting things to share with you.
So that brings us to our guest today, man.
Yeah,
The special
hey, no.
guy we mentioned last week, by the way.
Oh my goodness. Hey, get
You
ready.
guys mentioned me. It was like, oh, they're talking about me. Oh, my God.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Hey, get ready. And here we are live and direct with El Gato.
You know when we made a
Eduardo.
mistake? We never asked you
Gato,
how to
also
introduce you. Eduardo.
Eduardo,
Gato,
fine.
Gonzalez.
Gato is like everybody knows. Nobody knows me as Gonzalez.
For
Everybody
those
knows me
that
as
don't
Gato.
know, Gato is cat.
Yeah,
So sometimes we call him Kitty, but it's
Kitty.
for the wrong
My-
reasons.
My niece called me the kitty cat.
Oh, yeah.
The niece. Okay.
The little
So
one.
for some of you might not know who this guy is. I've
No,
had
some
the
of you know.
pleasure.
Most
of
of
you.
you.
Thank
Most of
God.
you.
No, I'm just kidding.
If you're out there, clubbing and you're out there doing your thing, well, back in the days, right? Or still,
Like at least 9 years ago.
people know who El Gato is. Actually,
9 years ago when things changed.
Actually, if you didn't know who El Gato was, sorry, you got charged double for your drink.
So Gato, I had the pleasure of working with back in the day. We had a maybe a rough start.
A love-hate relationship.
Love-hate relationship.
Love-hate
Which is one of the things that we're gonna, kind of get into this episode.
Yes.
The whole relationship between a GM, which it was what he was, and
General
and
manager,
staff, guest, owners. The different types of owners there are. Clientele, all these things. When I met Gato, actually I was a promoter at a club, and Gato was a bartender at the time. And the relationship, that relationship there was not
Working.
the best.
no,
It wasn't working.
And for some reason,
No,
I ended
nothing
up,
particular. It's just I was doing my job.
Yeah.
exactly, and I was not.
Sometimes-
So things led,
Well,
one thing led to another.
You were. It was just that everyone was kind of like focusing on their own areas, and sometimes both areas could clash because
They overlap
Completely.
and sometimes,
right.
unfortunately.
You
But you know
both
what?
have your separate kind of like goals, right?
True,
And that's basically what.
So things happened for a reason, and eventually I ended up being one of the owners of the club, and Gato was our GM.
he has his chance over there to fire me, and he didn't. he offered me a job.
Exactly.
Hey, JM is a smart guy, so I'm sure if he didn't do it, it was because he saw the potential. So
Well, the relationship changed right away. Not because he was kissing ass or any of that. Just basically the fact that I started understanding the reasons behind the way he was.
Got it.
Which is something I did not understand before when I was the promoter, and when clients would come up to me and complain about this bartender back then, because he wasn't the manager yet. So we'll get a lot into that. But
talk to me. How did you get into this industry? Like, how did you?
So
did it begin with?
No.
You already had experience.
Back in Spain, in Madrid, I started when I was 16. I have actually long hair.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I started working in a bar that my brother worked into.
Okay.
It was kind of like a small dive bar in an area in Madrid, very popular, called Moncloa. And I started, just putting beer. And the next thing was that I was called to go somewhere else to work as a barback. Because remember that the bar industry and the entertainment over there is totally different. The way that you work is totally different. That you're very good over there, that doesn't mean that you're going to be any good here.
Yeah.
Actually, the first thing that I was fascinated by was the soda gun. It was like, my goodness, this guy's smart.
Yeah, you're
there
right.
is Coca-Cola Light.
Yeah, you want soda water? You want AlkaSeltzer?
No.
Some people are trying to go back to that nowadays.
Coolers with all the bottles.
Wow.
Imagine at the end of the night, refilling was ridiculous. It's not just the beer. It's every single thing, every single mixer, every single soda, it comes in a bottle.
Wow.
So when I came here and I saw the things, like, these guys.
So when you saw the gun and you had the water, you had the soda, you had the cranberry.
That over there, actually they will throw it in your face. They will not like that.
That's awesome. So you were already like, wow, I love this.
I think that I worked pretty well at the industry over there for many years. I worked in various positions. I think that one of the things that, I'm not saying that I was good or bad as a general manager. I think that at least I learned all the positions. There is a lot of people that work as managers that they just pinpointed by ownership, for example, and they don't have that experience. So if I learned something is that you shouldn't ask someone to do something that you don't know how to do yourself. So when you have been a busboy and a barback and a bartender and a DJ and a bouncer and a
So the way of saying it here is coming from the bottom. You gotta come from the bottom up. It's definitely a must in this business.
Yeah, it definitely gives you the knowledge and the know-how to delegate, right? Because once you've done it all, you have that property to say, hey, do it like this, and I've been there. So trust me, if you do it like this, you're gonna learn, and then you're gonna move on. But you have to master this first before you get to the next level. So that's great. That's a very great tip, right? That one of the big tips of becoming a GM. He pointed out that there's sometimes GMs that they didn't start from the bottom, that they just become GMs. Boom, they got the hookup, they got the friend,
which works in this business.
The relative,
it is also about
who you know. The relative gets
for sure.
in there, and that's all good. But a good GM has to have that experience to have done it all. And guess what? I recommend for any GM to become a GM, to kind of, hey man, take the time and learn from all those positions under you, just so you kind of understand on a more human level what you need to do.
How did you guys meet, by the way? I remember
for a carnival. He was with a beer and he sponsored it.
I didn't even know. Like, I was gonna wear this shirt today. I was like, I was gonna take it back, but I couldn't find it. But yeah, the way I met El Gato was in a bar. He was bartending, and
in a bar
called Yahe,
our bar,
which was your bar, which you started promoting, and then you ended up owning, right? And it was funny, man, because when we talked about this interview, I was like, man, I haven't seen El Gato since back in the days, and we're different people now. It's been a long time, but it was great, and I'll never forget this. And I had to bring it up because I was like, man, when I think of El Gato, I remember El Gato saying to me, I was working with a beer, and And I went to El Gato and I said,
can't mention the beer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can mention it. The beer was Cerveza Águila, which they were
siempre igual.
Yes, they were very involved in all your parties. And I went up to El Gato and I said, "Hey, Gato, what's up, man? Like, I don't feel like, Águila is as cold as it should be." And he was like, and he's just straight up, and that's where there was like that love-hate in the beginning, because he was like straight up cold, real. It was just like, well, I see you talking to everybody about your beer, but you haven't spoken to me, so that's it. And I was just like, okay. And at the end of the day, it made sense, right? Because me coming as a beer promoter to the bar, it was like, okay, I've met with Julio Mario, I've met with everyone here about the way we want to execute this beer promotion, the way we want to, we want the beer to be.
It was one of those days that you realize that ownership has nothing to do with the real decisions in the business.
Exactly.
The GM makes the actual decision.
Exactly. He makes the decision. And I've been having day meetings with all these people, and then and he gave it to me cold and clean. Hey, listen, you meet with everybody. You're not meeting with me. At the end of the day, who's putting the beer in the bar, who's in front of the people that you want to market your brand to, is me. It's not the people you're meeting with in a daily basis. So I was like, okay, Gato. So what do we need to do? And then he was like, no, you tell me.
Right.
You tell me what you want to do with Águila and how you want people to perceive it. How do you want me to present your beer to a person who's never seen this beer, who's never flied to Colombia, who doesn't know anything about this brand? What would you like me to tell them when I open up this bottle, which he has a very unique way of doing it. The bottle the cap just like pops open, like flies over like a firework. And what do you want me to tell him? And I said, you know what? That makes total sense. We had that conversation. And after that, man, those beers were coming nice and cold.
It was
a communication.
I was talking to Gato about which, by the way, I learned that lesson very quickly with him. I learned to just let him make the decisions, and the tough ones especially. And this is
like the Grey Goose one,
for example. No, and I was going to mention that story because you're one of the first managers that actually had the balls to go against, the usual, the common. Hey, everybody's buying Grey Goose because that's the company that's spending money on their advertising. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to sell a Heineken and sell a Corona beer and sell a Grey Goose and sell a Johnny Walker Black Label. That's an easy thing to do.
Those are all like exactly.
Yeah, it's like everybody knows, they see them wherever they go. Now, selling other products is not as easy. But this guy went to those big brands, asked for help. We were selling a lot of their product, and they came back with, we don't need to. People want our product. Oh yeah?
Oh.
Well, this guy changed things around. I don't know if you want to tell us a little more about it.
The thing is that I think that Bacardi Martini at the time, it was the one representing Grey Goose. And at that moment, Grey Goose was like the pretty girl at the bar. She just needs to be there and guys come to her. The reality is that is good for the brand, but that's not good for the club. And my interest is always to protect the interest of the owners and the investors and try to make as much money as possible. So I was asking for, some sort of deal because we will start selling a lot of Grey Goose, or some sort of help, some sort of support. And I get the guy at the moment, I think it wasn't very nice, and it's very wrong go with me with the wrong food because I'm not the kind of person that is going to cope with that. Actually, when I'm the one paying, because at the end you're providing a service for me. I understand you could be whoever, but I'm the client.
Of course.
So
sometimes these brands forget that, right?
The guy says like, no, this is what it is. And kind of like upsets me his arrogance, and I tell him, we're going to do something. I'm going to sell the leftovers of Grey Goose, and I'm not going to buy more Grey Goose from you. I'm going to sell more Belvedere by the next year than the Grey Goose that I said this year. And he told me, the owners, they're not going to go with that. And I said, watch me. And we have a meeting when I tell...
we were
at that time, they were foaming. They were foaming.
And now, so let me get this straight.
You're not going to sell Grey Goose, but you're crazy.
But hold on, just to get this straight. So he's looking at it in a perspective of, okay, so I'm buying a bottle which is costing me this much, and I'm making this much on that drink, right? Exactly. You're looking at it as the owner as the same, or are you looking?
I'm looking at it at the beginning.
I want my clientele. My clientele wants
whatever they want. Goose, they're gonna get, right?
Whatever they want.
Number one. Number two is this is what everybody wants.
Exactly.
Number three, this is what we're selling. Who is gonna, guarantee that if we don't sell this, we're gonna sell the other products, the Absolutes and the Kettle Ones and all those things.
It is something that is called training, and that is called motivation to the employees, and it's called work. It's like you need to put an effort. It's like he said, it's very easy to sell what everybody wants, but what everybody wants is not where the money is. The money is where, in a product that, let me tell you something. Would you ask a sushi chef for pizza?
Yeah, no.
No, right? So the French and vodka has nothing to do with each other. They just spend the money, create a brand and a product, put it in every single table of every promoter.
By the way, Grey Goose, we still love you.
Yeah, we still love you.
We love you. You're good.
The reality is I started selling in Belvedere that is doing vodka for the last 600 years.
Belvedere.
Yes.
Yeah.
The long bottle that has the white tree.
Beautiful.
That's a beautiful 5 times
beautiful
distilled vodka. It's beautiful presentations. And when I tell them, listen, I want to buy you this much, they flip themselves inside. Because I tell them, I'm not only going to sell more, I just not going to have Grey Goose on the bar, period.
Wow,
and the guy almost cried. I discontinued it.
He discontinued them?
Discontinued it.
Like, no more.
And you know what happened?
No, so you as the owner were like, what?
No, they were foaming. They were foaming to the mouth. And I said like, listen, give me 3 months.
And you're going to?
I resign if in 3 months I'm going to do better numbers.
Better numbers. So what he was guaranteeing you is that you were going to make more money. He was going to bring more bacon by just switching brands.
Completely. And it was not only the sales, because he showed it. He was still there after the 3 months.
He made it happen.
Not only that, in the sales.
Shout out to Kettle One. That was with Kettle One?
Kettle One, Belvedere. And,
Belvedere. It was with Belvedere.
It was just no Goose at Yahe at the time.
To Belvedere.
But he even got these different brands to remodel the venue.
Oh wow!
Like I did a that was funny. Remember the model that I did from the bed? I did a small model of the new beds that I want to put, like these huge. They were like, I don't know, like probably like 4 by 4
So they sponsored
beds.
Some of the experiences. I
sell them the logos on the front of the bed. Wow! So I have my Belvedere bed.
So they had their experiences. Exactly. Wow! So man, listen, I don't know where the Grey Goose rep is today.
Oh no, he was one of the best. He was one of the best reps that the company had. The guy he would sell, but he would sell without doing any effort because everybody was asking for loads of that product. So he's just like this realtor that you just give him good product and he's the best realtor in the area. Right. No, the good realtor in the area is the one that sells the dumb place. That one is the good realtor.
Grey Goose and Corona are not the best products in the end.
Did he learn the I don't know, did he learn from this? I wonder.
They came next year. And I said, no more. Sorry, but it's kind of like a little bit too late. Because actually I'm committed.
But we didn't find out about that fat part.
You didn't know that part because you would have been like, "No, man,
come back."
No.
The reality, we were happy, man. We were happy with what was profitable.
Happening, and it was more elegant. It was more
because
exclusive.
the margin
was
bigger, and it just worked better.
It made sense.
And also, like the talks with the servers, the talks with the cocktail waitresses to push the product. They're not just there to put
That's another thing I remember.
So check it out, guys.
A lot of waitresses were complaining.
Just so you know,
we don't have Grey Goose. The clients are complaining.
All your bartenders, blah, blah. Your bar managers, your GMs, when you're coming from a brand, as a brand representative, it's very important that you communicate with your GM. You meet their goals. You have to kind of get into the business and kind of know what is the margin, what's the percentage that they're trying to make with your drink in order to keep them happy. I think if you do that, boom, you're a big win.
The brands get too big that they forget that they're providing
a service
also, not just a product. And But then when you're too pretty and everybody wants you, you put very little effort on comply and be nice and smile to people. But that's not the idea.
So as a GM,
it needs to be a business.
Let me ask you something.
Sides.
But as a GM, do you think it's important to have that conversation with a brand manager, to tell the brand manager like, hey, Grey Goose, so listen, so I'm the GM here, and yes, we sell this much Grey Goose, and what I want is to make this kind of margin. And besides the fact of this margin, because of the fact that we sell so much product, will you be able to help me create some experiences?
That's a brand manager speaking, by the way.
Right? Is that what?
I remember, like, my rep from Southern Wine Spirits was his name was JC. He loved me. He loved me because
shout out to Jay-Z.
I did quite a lot for his products.
You looked out for each other.
Because the idea was like, listen, I have to respond to ownership. I have to respond to my clients. You need to work with me with something that I can sell to everybody. And we came to a point where I make some commitments with the brands that it were harder for them to push, and they will do a greater commitment for the ones that I really need. I was making the money out of it. Again, business needs to be good for both sides. Sometimes they get too big, they get too comfortable, and they don't care. And but the reality also is that no, the general managers can go, oh, I just opened a place and I want that you give me this. No, that's not how it works.
To stay on the general subject, let me ask you something else. Your relationship with owners, staff members, usually started rough, right? Is there a reason for that? Is it you, or is it the position?
Exactly.
Of manager?
It's me, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay. Keep it real. I love it.
Most of the time in this industry, people, they don't know what they want. Oh, they want a club, and they want to make money, and they want to meet girls, and all the time that I've been hired, I always ask them the same thing. What's the purpose of this business? To show off? To make money? What did you want? If you want to show off, let's throw it through the window. Want to make money? Let's have a strategy. Let's have a strategy that comes from your payroll, how you control and manage that, to the purchases that you do and the money that you invest. So the rough part probably is because I'm from Spain and we just rough. It's in our blood. We fight it.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's because it is very difficult, like, to people that never did something, make them understand, no, we need to do it like this. Like, when I tell them my plans, they look at me like, you're not crazy, you're gonna get fired.
Yeah.
And I say, just give me 3 months. And if I don't do it, just keep going. So
that's good. You had confidence in your job.
Remember,
you were like, listen, man, I'm going to make sure I'm going to make you money. Give me 3 months. Let me prove to you that at the end of the day, the numbers are going to make a difference. And they're going to make sense. And at the end of the day, for you as an owner, you were kind of going against the current, but it was also smart. You must have seen something in him to say, you know what?
I realized one thing that I've been thought of a few times. If you're going to run any kind of business, look for people that know how to do it better than you.
Exactly.
And this guy knew a lot more than I did.
So that's a tip, right? Like let you know when you
the experts do their thing.
Let me tell you, a lot of times experts don't identify that. There could be. I'm sure you've come across owners that have been like, "No, it's my way."
No, excuse me.
This is the way it's gonna.
I have been in situations where I lay out the whole plan, and the guy said, "No, I don't want to do it. I just want to do this and this and this and that." And I said,
and that's usually the guy with the money.
Okay, yeah, that's the guy with the money.
With the wrong
which is
reasons.
Great, which is fine.
Yeah.
This is not a problem. But then don't involve me.
Exactly.
Because this is going to close in 6 months. And I don't want to say, oh, this guy that was general manager over there, the place closed. They're not going to see that it's because the guy with the money was doing whatever he wants.
Oh.
They're going to say like,
hey,
bad manager.
And let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do GMs have like a track record?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the word gets out. Like,
hey, this is all industries are very small.
Very small.
And Miami, for example, is smallest than you can imagine.
So everybody knows each other.
Everybody knows each
other. So if a
place
closes, they don't blame it on the area, on the owner.
Let's put it this way.
In
soccer, the 11 guys that make hundreds of millions, they don't get the blame when they don't win the league. It's the coach.
It's the coach.
And one of the things I tell all the time to people is like, listen, I'm the coach.
You're the coach.
I'm gonna get fired if you don't do your job.
Exactly.
You're gonna still here.
You're gonna go to another club. You're gonna go to another place.
Or you're gonna stay there and they're gonna get rid of me.
Know.
I just ask you to do the things my way. So if I made a mistake, it's my responsibility. Right. Remember that the three most important things that a general manager needs to handle is
the three most important things.
Let's pay attention to this. Yes. All of you, if you're gonna start in this.
This is the moment of truth. The three most important things.
You have ownership, and you have employees, and you have your customers, and you have 2 feet. You need to step as fast as you can, because all the time that you have your feet in 2 places, the other one is unhappy. When you think in your employees and your clients, ownership is unhappy. If you think in ownership and clients, employees are unhappy. So you need to do this dance that, believe it or not, it requires a lot of thought to try to be in everybody's shoes. You need to try to accommodate your guests for them to be happy with what they're drinking, how they've been served, how they've been treated. Then also the employees, that they're gonna make money, that you're gonna rotate them enough, that you're gonna make a strategy for the thing to work so they go back home with money every day. And the owners, because they wanna make money too.
Of course.
Right. So, but there is so much that you can do at the same time, and always someone is gonna be unhappy. You try to make them happy for the least amount of time possible.
Right. Well, one thing I can tell you for sure is this. He worked with us. I can't say for us. He worked with us at Yahoo as GM, and he made things happen. And since then, he's been the one person I go to for whatever project I have. The times that I haven't, for whatever reason, those projects haven't lasted as much for whatever reason. Now, besides that, I know of all the other projects that he's been with, and the relationship he has with those owners is different than any other manager that has worked with them. There's always a friendship that just starts with the business and goes on after that. Yeah. So with that said, he's probably doing something right? Or was, because he's no longer in this business for whatever reason. He's doing well for himself.
We're actually in his house.
Yes, right. He's humble abroad.
Yeah, this is like an experience that, when we create our spa segment, I guess we'll come back here.
Cribs. Yeah, it's a little resort, by the way, because what do you do nowadays?
Well, I left
still in hospitality.
I left this beautiful industry that I have been for 20 years, and that gave me a lot.
Lots of riches, blessings.
I'm happy that while working, I met with the one that is now my wife after 9 years.
Nice.
And I have the privilege to work for her in her company. She has a travel and tourism PR company. She represents hotels and destinations. I do the websites, I do the photography, I do the video. I'm doing something completely different. It's still being somehow people oriented, and
so now you have to be a little nicer to everybody.
Now I need to be a little nice. Now I cannot be an asshole.
No, and so you're working in another field, which sounds
another thing completely different. I need to start things from scratch that I never did before. I never did photography, and I did video, and I do websites.
But you are consulting. Right?
I still consulting. There is
the nightlife.
Yeah, there is people that still calling me and saying, "Listen, I need to put this project together. What you recommend from not only staff to design to," because again, I don't have much, but at least I have that experience.
No, man, you have a lot. You have a lot of.
We're talking about it earlier. Now, the fact that, for example, we're doing a project that we'll talk about later on, in another episode, but when we were talking about building this bar and starting and whatever, one of the first things he said is, you don't have to call me, but make sure you call somebody who's been in the bar before you start building that bar.
Hey, for all you architects out there who are building bars, consult with a bartender
with a bar back,
or with a bar back, so you could have a successful bar for that club, lounge, or everything. I don't think we've shared our Instagrams his Instagram, how people could follow us, how people could follow you.
There's nothing to follow me because I'm not in the industry anymore. I will give you my bet. It's like it's not related. It's not related.
Right?
It's probably pictures of kids, dogs, and motorcycles
and trips.
Listen,
because unfortunately, one of the things I have my job is that I travel around the world. I'm very happy with it.
And that's a beautiful thing. He travels around the world. He's very happy with it. I'm sure when you walk into every other bar, you kind of like look.
Always. It is something that is called.
What do you miss? What do you miss about this industry?
Yes.
What I miss about this industry, help people to achieve their goals. I have someone very close to me that told me that you need to give people what they want in order to get what you want. So for me, it was very exciting, like get a place that was concrete with not even a pipe for water and build a place that becomes successful. One of the joys of my life has been training all the people that I train, that today I still see in here and there people that come and tell me, they approach me and say, hey, man, thanks so much because thanks to you, I'm making a living. No, thanks to you, I learned this.
Mostly staff.
Most of the stuff.
That's awesome. So you've taught people how to do their job right and how to kind of build from it, and you I
have people that they're barbacks and they end up general managers and
of big brands. Believe me, like people don't understand.
Yeah.
Like when I go anywhere in this city, the people that work in like anywhere I go, I find somebody managing usually who was from this guy's school. You know what I mean? Like it came from that.
For me, that makes me happy because
go to Gato University, right? Like that'll probably come soon.
Not anymore. No, but actually, I will support the courses that you guys pretend to show people, like because if they're gonna be useful, they're gonna be well documented, and they're gonna help the people that really want to do things. I'm not saying right. It would be so arrogant for me to say that I do the things right. No, I do the things my way, and my way so far they kind of like work, and not just work for me, just work for others. So it means that maybe it's not perfect, but it's good. It's thought and it's experienced and it's.
You have a good track record, so it's good. It's awesome. Man, that's incredible. So I was hoping he had like a.
I was gonna ask like the first question I was gonna ask today. I forgot about it, and now I'm super like thirsty.
Because and because. God forbid is Great Goose, right?
Completely. It's not going to be for sure. But
can we ask him?
We always ask our guests, and you are the first one, but this is something that we know for a fact that we're going to be asking all the time is, what's your favorite drink and why?
Favorite drink. Which is it?
I'm not.
Who wins that?
I'm not much of a mixologist. I don't really like
mixes.
I don't like mixes. I really like to enjoy a particular alcohol. Like and try all the difference that I can to say, okay, this is what I really want to drink. And then from more age to younger, that doesn't matter. After many years of switching from brand to brand and from spirit to spirit, today there's nothing that makes me happy than Macallan 12. And I've been lucky that working a bar, I try all of them. The 18, the 25, the 30, the 1500, the whatever you want. And the reality is that the 12 for me is the one that makes it.
Oh yeah?
For me is...
So the issue is this. We are at your house. Do you have any?
I have loads of it.
Okay, so
lots of it.
All right, so we always take a little break to go get a drink. So let's get a drink and share it.
Hey, we'll be back. Macallan.
So this is Macallan 12.
Macallan 12. Wow.
Gato, and you were saying now that when you were serving this, you were saying that you don't like the 18 years?
No. I love all of them. Okay. I love all of them. But if you tell me, hey, I'm going to send you a bottle, well, people will say, oh, send me the 18 if you can, or the 25 because it's even more expensive. The thing is that palate is something very personal. And when you drink wine, when you drink gin, Scotch, beer, there is not the best beer in the world. There is not the best wine. It's the one that you like. Right. And in my case, the 12 is the one that I enjoy the most. Right. One of the characteristics, if I can tell you, is that it's aged in Spanish barrels of sherry wine. So it has like a fruity ending. It goes down very well without burn because the process of distillery of Macallan is they end up with very, very refined scotches. And this is what I like.
Awesome.
Cheers to that, man.
Cheers. Cheers to the
I feel like it was an infomercial, but that's from my heart what I feel.
That's awesome. That's what we want, man. We want the truth.
Wow. Cool. I'm ready to jump in the pool.
The thing of this is that you don't need, not even ice. It's not necessary. Like it's
no
something
ice,
that you,
no anything,
you drink at room temperature and you can.
You don't need ice.
Yeah, it feels good. You're gonna cry,
bro. I don't know. I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
It's very nice. I've had it before, but I've had it with ice.
Don't forget to chase it with a cusqueña, all right?
My mom, that is 67, will tell you, whoever that drinks alcohol, even with ice, is because he can't drink alcohol.
I love his mother, by the way.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
And
Another
awesome. Persona you must meet for sure. I want to ask you another question.
And please look in the eyes when we do cheers.
Yeah,
if you don't mind.
Well,
one of the things that I also learned was that you had to do this.
Let me show the people so
we can spray it. To look at the eyes?
Yes, it's very. Just try not to break the glass. It's a very expensive glass.
Kids, man.
Yeah, well, after that you don't want to continue.
I will love for you guys to spread this branding because I do it just with people that is there to me. Okay, we're gonna bring this for the people that is here.
Yes.
And for the people that is not.
For the people that are not here.
Right. Question I wanted to ask was if you had one piece of advice,
that was almost like a moment of silence, huh?
Right? If you have one piece of advice that you would give the new young generation, millennials included, that we don't understand yet, that want to join this industry, be it as a GM, whatever it is, what would that be?
To be honest,
run
for your life. No. I think that you can do amazing things in this industry. You can find amazing things to do in the business. You can meet amazing people in this industry. I will tell you, like, decide what you want to do. It's going to be a job or a career. If it's going to be a job, don't put much effort. Go through it, enjoy it. It doesn't matter.
It's the name of chapter 1.
If it's going to be a career, study, learn, understand how this is made, where things come from, how to serve, how to attend. One of the main things that we have as a problem in the industry is that people don't have a humble attitude, and to serve others, you need to have a humble attitude. I all the time tell the people, if you cannot be humble, go to college, become a lawyer so you can treat people like asses. As long as you don't have that degree,
you gotta have that humble attitude.
You need to enjoy to serve others.
It's a hospitality
for me.
Thing,
people
right?
that knows me knows. I was the other day in one of the birthdays of one of the girls at the office. Everybody was having fun. I was bartending 5 hours for them. I have so much fun doing it because they were enjoying the drinks a lot. They were having a lot of fun. And for me, that I come from the industry, it was a pleasure.
So what's funner for you? Was it being a GM or was it being a bartender?
The position that I liked the most was bartender. But the position that I be best at was as a GM because I'm a person that it's like the quarterback. You know exactly where player is, what they're doing, where you're gonna find the spot to throw that ball.
Got it.
That's what I'm.
Way to put it, right?
That's what I'm best at it. But the thing that I enjoy the most was just bartending because you enjoy make things that people like. Again, you need to be humble. You need to please be humble. Don't be arrogant. Don't bring your problems from home. Don't create, even if it's an alter ego if necessary. So in the moment that you punch in, you're another person, a person that is smiling, a person that does the things with pleasure. There is nothing worse than when you're paying for a meal, the person that comes to you comes angry or bothered, or it's more like doing you a favor than serving you. If you're not cut, this is not for everybody. I clean bathrooms in a nightclub. That's not for everybody. I've been in.
So you really did it from the bottom, and
the most important thing is that you do it with your heart, and you need to do it the best that you can. Yes. There is nothing bad about serving others. There's nothing. It's not a negative connotation. It is true that in certain cultures, like being a server is like, meh, you're a server, meh, you keep to serve me. People that you're gonna find like that in any industry that you are. Yeah. So don't just get it against the industry that you're in because they're treating you like that, because it's gonna happen to you anywhere that you go. There is always trying to find that person that thinks that is better than you. You know what? Let it be.
Nobody's better than our show, though.
Hell no.
Right? This is the best,
best
podcast.
Hope you guys are liking this, man.
Right?
We're enjoying it for sure.
The best tip that I will tell them is like, find what you want to do. I want to just make money for the weekends and, study and whatever.
It doesn't have to be the same for
you know
everyone.
what? I want to have a career. I think that I can be good at it.
Works both
I
ways.
really like it. But then when I mean study, I'm not meaning go to school, which you could do too.
Yeah.
Because at my time when I started, there was a school for that. And they will show you how to have a tray. People, they don't know how to handle a tray. They don't know how to serve from a tray. I will tell you a story about a tray later if you want, one of the funniest. They don't know. They don't know how to open a bottle of wine. They don't know how to serve this or pick up. They don't know. You need to know.
Do we
you
have time
to
for
know.
the tray story? Because I think that tray is important.
That's very. It's very. It's very quickly and very simple.
A lot of people
like
think
Production.
holding a tray,
Do we have time?
Hey, I think
go.
a tray. People think it's easy. It is like one of the hardest.
It's not.
Right?
It's not. It just need to be taught. It's like parking reverse. If they tell you where you need to look when you're maneuvering, it's very easy. If no one tells you anything, it's like, oh my god, what do I do now?
Yeah. I notice when people.
I think he actually taught me at some point how you have to grab.
You can do the
I've
French
seen-
style that is
I've
with three
seen
fingers,
bartenders-
but in the industry,
So the French came up with the 3-finger thing.
yeah, because when you do this, you have
I don't know if
this.
it's
There's
three
a
or the
reason
four, but I've seen
behind
people that when
They're
you're about to
French.
go get that drink, they go, "Hey."
Yes, because why?
Balance,
because
right?
you load the tray with the weight of the drinks. Someone pick up this, and the whole thing does bagada.
Boom.
And that's like that. What happened to me? When I was young, the first place that I worked in a
Younger.
Yeah, when I was younger. It's true. I'm not that old.
We're all very young here.
There was these trays that they were stainless steel trays, not like the modern rubber ones that the things don't slip, not even if you try to. No, it was a stainless steel tray. And there is certain high-end hotels and restaurants that still using those because it's more classy. Right. Well, the problem is that they get wet and the glasses kind of can slip a little bit. Well, they asked me, it was a summer evening, and I have this table that they asked for a jar of sangria and a pitcher of sangria and 5 glasses. And the guy that was kind of like the guy of the table, was this guy that he looked like a santero. He was dressed in white, like with a linen suit. And, I think that he was like the patriarch, I guess, of the group, because I think that was kind of like a family thing. And he had like white hair.
He was the man.
He was the man. Well, the man, I came with the tray with my pitcher of sangria.
Uh-oh.
And long
Was
story
it the
short,
French
I drip.
whole-
No.
you
throw the whole pitcher of red sangria over his white hair, his white linen suit, his white everything.
Not good.
This happened to you? Oh my.
The guy was dripping sangria from his eyebrows and fruit,
Watch
because remember that has like orange and stuff.
Yeah,
like
fruit.
the guy he looked basically like I murdered the guy, like I stabbed him like 20 times or something like that.
Goodness, it was
And
just
everybody
sangria all over.
around was looking like. You know what? Like
They
one
couldn't
of these
believe
bags,
it.
everybody like that happened. Everybody was quiet.
froze.
The guy was looking at me. I was looking at him,
You saw
and I
his-
start laughing. It was
What else are you gonna
nervousness,
do?
but I started laughing, and then everybody started laughing, and then his family started laughing, and then he started laughing, and I get away with it.
Of course, I would have laughed my way
Get
out
more
of there too.
sangria, throw it on everybody.
I was like-
oh my God.
I couldn't swallow like for half an hour, but I couldn't resist.
Did
And
you
then-
say something like "Salud"?
No, I said, perdón.
Perdón, okay, that's good. Something.
So bottom line, guys, learn your trades,
learn.
learn.
Learn the trades
There's
with the
many
trades.
places to learn. We are definitely, as he mentioned, we are building Nightlife University where you're gonna be able to see all these things. There's gonna be over 500 different ebooks and lessons in this thing, man. For every piece of the puzzle in the business, and maybe we convince him one day to be part of the management side of it at least, or the tray part. You never know.
That, for sure.
But yeah, man. I think everything we've talked about.
Listen, this is great. I think for our listeners, we've given them a lot today. We've given them a lot to learn.
You're not gonna ask me anything else
about
Okay.
No, we're gonna ask you more.
Oh, no,
You
we're
want
gonna
more?
ask
We could give you because I still want to know which is the craziest experience that you've had as a GM?
Like
You know,
best and worst moments.
Yeah,
of
But the
your
best moment
career.
is when I met my wife. Sorry, I
That
have
was-
to say it because that was the best moment.
oh, that was great. That was awesome. She's gonna love
It happened.
that.
It happened while I was working. You know, I was working.
Hello,
at
Jody.
So that was a.
I was
that
working
was
at Kilt and Dr. Martens. I just opened an Irish pub and
Huh?
it was this thing and well, it was,
So that
Was it in
the-
nine.
It was in the business. You were still in the business when it happened.
Yeah. I just opened Brickle Irish pub.
Irish pub, right?
Brickle
Yes.
Irish Pub. So
Yes.
shout out to Brickle Irish Pub.
I-
They're not there anymore.
for no, I know.
They don't exist. No,
For
they,
your-
they
for
destroyed the place in like
finding-
a
that
year.
was a beautiful
It was a
place.
great
Oh
venue.
my goodness!
I
remember
was
how-
involved in the production of the place from the bottom, from the ground up, and
It was
it
beautiful.
was one of the most.
It almost
beautiful,
looked like
an Irish pub. Yeah, that's what we tried.
Right? I know. It almost looked like an Irish pub. It was amazing. Like
It was one of those little
venues.
venues that in Brickell in Miami that you would go in there and you'd feel like you were in a different place.
Yeah, it was
You know?
awesome. I loved it. So that was your best moment,
That was my best moment.
and your worst.
If you ask me what was my biggest joy, as I mentioned before, was being able to pay forward all the people that trained me.
Awesome.
There's few of them that they're not alive anymore, and I was happy to say, you know what, I can give this to someone else, and I just hope that they keep passing
learn
that, because
and they pass
that's
it
the
on.
only beautiful thing that we're gonna have left. You know, like say,
course.
listen, I have this that I think that it can help you or work for you, and I just want to give it to you, and I hope that you make really good use of it.
And which was your worst moment? Which was that moment that where did you ever have a moment where you were just like, you know what? That's it. I'm done.
Fuck this business.
Yeah, I'm done with this business.
Well, I have a guy dying in my arms, so that was a very bad moment.
You had a person die in your
Yeah,
arms?
he got stabbed in a fight, and
You gotta be kidding
no,
me. Oh no.
I was in Madrid, and
He got stabbed
he got stabbed
in a bar fight?
in a bar fight,
Wow.
and I was very sad because I was a young kid, and you know, see someone's life goes
Die,
away
yeah.
is like
In your
it was-
arms?
yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is listen. That
I,
is definitely,
I wasn't expecting that.
yeah.
Well, I don't know what you tell me the words. I just
See,
give you.
that-
I'm
you
sorry.
see,
I don't
but
want to.
that's the thing with El
listen,
Gato.
I'm like,
that's what you get with El Gato. You
I
get
think-
it raw.
I
man.
think-
You get it like
we
what
can,
was the
no,
word?
no. We can edit all this, and I can say, oh, wait,
No, we're not gonna edit
I fell
anything.
down, I
No,
hurt
But
my
isn't
knee.
it great? Like,
No,
hey,
because-
what was the best moment? Oh, I found love. I found my wife. Which was the worst moment? A guy died in my arms. Like, dude, like,
In
but
other
you know
words,
what? The
in
Gato-
nightlife,
Where does El Gato
everything
come
is going to
from?
happen.
I'll tell you about that. Let me tell you something.
Where does that name El Gato?
There is something that for me is very important, and it is reality.
Yeah.
People need to understand when they go into this business that we're selling a drug called alcohol.
Yes.
And the funny thing is that we need to find the balance between sell them a lot of it and don't get them too drunk,
Exactly.
which is a very fine line that also is a legal line. Please, when I tell you things that to learn the law. Learn your responsibilities. Learn how if you screw up, you can make an owner lose his license. Then you get killed, of course, because you're making lose not only a lot of money, the close down of the place, the loss of the jobs. That is very traumatic. You guys need to know what you can do and what you cannot, and how much trouble. This country is very specific about the things that can be or cannot be done. That's why you need to learn, because if you learn, you don't make those mistakes, and you can have like a healthy and prosperous career. No something that it could end up abruptly, and it can even end up in jail. So
let me ask you something, and my condolences to that person who passed away in your arms.
that I didn't know. It was a client. It was something
But
between
my
clients
condolences
and
go out to that person and that family. When you are behind the bar and you are serving someone, and you know that person, the minute they walk into the bar and they order that first drink, hey, how are you? Let me get this. Then they come back twice. They come back 3 times. After what number of drink is when you really start paying attention and you start trying to have some eye contact with that person to understand and know if you should continue?
Is it a girl or guy?
Or
How much weight?
it doesn't matter.
So
Color
does,
wise?
so
It
does
doesn't
that
matter.
all come in play? Color, weight, girl or guy?
Yeah, if he comes, I
Are you aware? Is what
have a
wanna
friend.
know.
I have a very good friend. His name is Ilya. Is a 6'4", 250 Russian guy. He can drink whatever he wants to drink.
Forever.
Forever. His liver is like a swimming pool filter.
Hey, I'm done with this. Like
Now-
I have this, and
Now
I'm going home to my
probably
wife
it's
for number
totally out of
4.
it. But if he puts himself into it, like a lot of people, is like he could drink because he has a lot of ability to process that alcohol. You give the same to a person this big, and you kill them.
Yeah.
So one of the things that people does in the courses of responsibility for management alcohol and all that, they teach you to see the signs of when someone start getting intoxicated. Because believe me or not, that person gets intoxicated, goes out in a car, gets into an accident, and the police can track back to you. Because at the end, it's your responsibility to deny the service to a person that is intoxicated.
Okay, bartenders, are you listening to this? This is very important.
I understand that most bartenders, they don't care about this, but that happens.
Yeah, of course.
And it can get you in a lot of trouble. It's not only that. Like by law, you ask me for 2 drinks, and I have to see the other person.
Oh.
Who does that? Nobody. You go and you ask for your drink, Julio Mario's, and your wife and his wife. But what happened with a lot of times is that you go to ask for the drink of the 3 underages that are there with you.
Oh.
So I'm serving underages under the eyes of
You're
people.
responsible.
You're responsible for that.
You can go to jail for that.
You can go to jail for that. Not only that, the place can be closed.
Place could be.
I be
The GM who doesn't care, he's trying to make money. He tells you, "Hey man, keep it going."
yeah, keep it
And
going,
it's
keep it
usually
going.
not the GM.
He's the
It's
owner.
usually an owner.
The owner, yeah.
No, no.
Owner, like I said, again, most owners are thinking money, cha-ching, cha-ching, every time somebody walks in the door. Like they're not thinking what's going to happen with this person afterwards when they get out of here. And the fact that I've become an owner, and I'm talking about this, I've understood it. I understand that that's not something you should do because I listen to people that actually care and that actually,
So
I have the
it's a
responsibility-
coach. It's
I
like you're right.
I have the responsibility for you to have fun, but also for you to get home safe.
Safe.
I make friends
Wow.
because I did my best for not let them drive. Clients that I didn't know. And I went to ballet and tell them, don't give the keys to this guy. He's extremely drunk. I pay for Uber. I pay for the cab. Whatever. Don't give him the car.
When you guys open up the newspaper and you read that there was a DUI accident, that's nightmare, right?
about a year ago, we had an event. It was a private event from a university here in Miami. And they were all supposed to be over 21. So they were all over 21. But after they left the club, they went to the university and they kept on drinking.
Of course.
And all the people that were underage joined their party and all these things. And that night, one of the kids that was at the party, number one, there was underage drinking at that party at the university, which you can't control. But one of the kids that was at our club ended up jumping from one balcony to another, didn't make it, fell through, also passed.
Oh, wow.
And this not only made the news, this is something that like we had to answer to the news from 7, 8 different channels, coming to ask questions. Were these people here? Were they drinking? All these things.
So you were linked into it.
Even
right? Though he had already left hours ago.
He had the age to drink. He drank what he had to. They weren't driving because they were in buses. It was a private event that they drove in buses. So everything actually happened afterwards. But, we did get to see, okay, he mentioned something. They can't drink anymore. This was a guy, luckily, that was stopped from being served anymore. A bartender, actually
identified.
Because I'm not gonna make it sound like the whole thing was positive, and part of the story is the kid was not tipping, so the decision from the bartender didn't really come from you're too drunk only. There was also a little bit of, hey, you're not tipping, you're already drunk, I'm not gonna give you any more. Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's those things are crazy to see, but the worst thing to see is the fact that people do not get educated as to what they should do, when they gotta serve, when they shouldn't serve, who to serve.
Never be afraid to deny service. It's your right and it's the law. Protect yourself, Your coworkers.
We're gonna bring in a police officer one of these days over here for one of our.
I can help you with that too.
Yeah,
man,
awesome, man.
We always have police officers on the parties.
Yeah,
always.
We want to interview those guys. We want to see
sure.
how
Off duty
officers that are usually in the party, kind of like just checking out the scene, and at the end of the day, they're saving lives, right? Because I'm sure they identify that person walking to their car and they say, "Hey, come over here. Let me get your keys."
Gato.
So anyway, tell me.
At the end of every episode, we're gonna do a little segment called the Night Father, and one of the reasons why is the fact that that we have like 25 children between the two of us, not together, whatever. Not. Cheers to our 7 kids and their mothers, who do everything. But the reality is that we also, since we do know a little bit about parenting in this business, we want to talk to our guests about that part of their lives. So with you, being that we kind of know, but they know, they don't.
Talk to me about parenting.
We want to talk to you about kids, parenting, and how you feel about it, and what your choices are.
Which part?
Or where?
What I start?
That was a good question.
Yeah, that was a good question.
Great job.
I have a friend that told me always when I have a tough question in front of me, always respond the same thing.
Yes.
Do you know that 15 minutes can save you 50% in car insurance? I don't have kids. How am I going to talk about parenting? Who am I? Actually, that's not true. No, that's not true. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something because let me explain you why.
Animals.
Because sometimes you see this situation with kids and you maybe made a complaint and the father they tell you, do you have any kids? And I always tell them the same thing. I'm not a helicopter pilot, but if I see a helicopter upside down in a tree, I would say, "Whoa, he fucked up." I mean, like I can have an opinion. I don't know what was your question? Like, what to do if you have kids, or what to do to have kids in this industry? I mean, what was the question really? Because
what to do to have kids?
What was the question about parenting?
Do you want to have children?
No, actually, no.
No, the question I think was, how do you feel about being a parent? Was that the question?
In the end, I mean,
I am not a parent.
I know. Well, there you go.
So you're not a parent, and you don't want to be a parent.
I don't want to be a parent, but I never want to be a parent.
But it has nothing to do with the business.
No, it has nothing to do with the business because you have 3, he has 4, he has 7. Like you guys just have nothing else to do besides work at night and make kids. Because I don't know, I can really barely understand. Yeah. No, for me it was a personal decision, and even for my wife, like we have a work that it prohibits somehow to have family. It's worse than a night because she travels like 2.5 weeks a month. Sometimes I travel too, and I don't want someone else raising my kids. And that's my mentality. And also, I'm 45.
Okay.
I can have kids until I'm 90, but that doesn't mean that I want to, because I wanted to be a father, a young father. I wanted to be a father when I was maybe in my 30s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Didn't happen for different reasons, and didn't happen. And I believe that I have a beautiful, full life, full of experiences, and I'm only passionate about your kids.
Awesome.
No mine. Like
you like children.
I get your kid. I'm the best uncle in the world.
Yeah?
You leave me your kids and I will destroy them and give them to you. They will go straight to bed.
Oh, nice.
Sleeping like babies. But I don't have that parenthood thing.
So guys, so it's not really about the business. The fact that he doesn't want to have children has nothing to do with the business.
No, you can have a family. Like most of the people that I met through my life, and actually most of the people that trained me, they were people with several kids. I guess that it comes with.
Yeah, no, and I did want to mention the fact that for us, it has not been something that has stopped us in any way. As a matter of fact, I've never had so many projects as I do today with 3 kids. So in the end, this industry is no different from any other. I mean, the only thing that changes pretty much is operational hours.
Yep.
It just really depends on you. We want to make sure that everybody knows that if you want to have children, you want to be a parent, that doesn't mean that you can't be in this type of business.
We've done it, right?
Oh, for sure.
Right? We're
7 kids, man.
Yeah.
So with that said, thank you to Eduardo Gato for being here today.
Gato, no, but hold on, just one little quick.
Okay, Gato.
Why El Gato?
To be a Gato, you need to be 3 generations from Madrid in both sides of the family, meaning that my father and my mother, they're from Madrid, and my 4 grandparents are from Madrid.
Okay.
So you need to be 3 generations from Madrid, and that's they call Gatos people end 60s to end 70s most of the time, because that was a moment where, after you have the civil war, you have Franco, you have all these problems with the economy in the country, so the jobs were in Madrid. So a lot of people migrate to Madrid. You're born in Madrid, but your father was from Sevilla and your mother was from Galicia or from whatever. Okay. So it was kind of like difficult to find someone from 3 generations from the city. It's kind of like with the thoroughbred horses.
Yeah.
And
so
I guess
to Madrid, you're like El Gato.
El Gato, see.
People are like, wow.
Yeah, but people is like, I have people that ask me, are you a Gato? No, that people that is from there, and I say yes, or from both sides of the family.
You didn't know that.
Heck no, meow.
You see?
I didn't know that. So thank you, Gato, for being here with us. Next week we have another guest. This guy is an old school promoter. Man,
old school and new school, right?
Comeback promoter of the year, I'd call this guy. He's here next week. You guys are gonna love this guy too. It was amazing to have you today.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness.
And hey, we want to make sure you guys go to Amazon, get the book. Go to Publix. Get the beer.
Okay, go to Publix, get the beer. Go to Amazon, get the book. Go to the liquor store, get the Macallan.
And don't forget to go to our website, nightlifeentrepreneurs.com. Follow us on our Instagram, The Nightlife Entrepreneur.
Mine says Ico Taps Beer and Doral Food and Wine Festival. Go to those.
Thank you,
IGs.
LMG. Go to our parties. Thursdays at Blue Martini. Saturdays at Bloom.
Party hard.
See you next week, guys.
Take care.